Hello and welcome back to Frostpunk on the Edge. This is episode 6, picking up where we left off, probably just moments ago for you guys. Let's see, what were we doing? I know that we had just sent some materials to the convicts in an attempt to curry favor and get them to expand their ability to make food, which hopefully they'll share with us at some point. So we have food coming in, we have wood coming in, which in essence equates to food coming in, since we'll probably just send it right on to our other neighbors. And outgoing we have steel, which is simple for us to get. I know we were hurting a little bit on it. And the other resources going to hot springs to get for food. So I don't think we had anything immediately queued up, so let's have the timeline move. Looks like we were still preparing our new wood intake, and we are out of wood, so looks like we really can't do anything. We can't run any researches. It seemed like there was one that was just steel. We may have picked up the steam sawmill. I don't know that we're ever going to build it. It's 9 hours. We're just going to leave it. I don't anticipate, we've talked about enough, I don't anticipate having the value in even spending the resources to build the upgraded building, regardless of the resources to research it. So we'll let these guys get building. We're gonna miss the work shift. People on it. We'll send them into overtime. Let's get a little bit of work done. We can afford the discontent from overtime. Let's speed things up. It's nighttime. We've arrived at a crumbling hut. Looks like there's nothing to be found here. Oh, that's right. We were stopping by a place. The other guys, however, will be arriving soon at their location. The trailer wreck. Of course, it's steel. That makes sense out of that kind of wreckage. Anytime you see the word dreadnoughts, usually steel is involved. And 25 steel, and no new location. Really? We ran all the way out there for just steel. Alright, well, we'll send these guys home with what they're carrying. Some food, which is always welcome. The rest of the other resources are, yeah, just steel. And now they are starting their burial ceremonies every night, even though no one died, to regain hope, I guess. I know it was supposed to reduce the loss of hope on death, but look, our hope bar. It's maxed out. Discontent bar is almost at nothing. Our people like us. We're popular. In spite of the fact that they are frequently starving. Alright, well, we brought in a fair amount of wood. I'm slowing it down because I was considering finally getting our infirmary built. We need to look at the size of it. It looks like if we tore down that one medical post, we could just sneak it in here. I believe we can rotate it. Yeah, we can rotate it. That's just visually rotating it. It doesn't change the footprint. I'm really tempted to squeeze it in here. I know that's going to waste a little bit of space. No. I guess we can keep it out at tier 3. Again, I believe it has better insulation than the medical post do. And after we get this built, we can shift our workers, our engineers, from the medical outpost over to there. Maybe tear down a medical outpost for some resources. We're already beyond our medical needs, but we want to move patients to the new improved place. There we go. A bunch of people are shifting over there. And this is livable. As you can see, it has better insulation. The furnace isn't turned on for either one of them, the heaters.
Sun's up. Gird your loins for work, people.
Which is a big benefit from this one. In fact, I think we're going to shut down one more of these. And we'll heat this one. I don't really want the engineers hanging out in this cold building waiting for people to treat for no reason. That's going to free up some people. Let's research the factory. I feel like it's not going to be really useful for us in this run, since it doesn't appear that we have automatons on our menu for research improvements, but maybe it'll allow us to build them without the improvements. Or maybe there'll be some other scenario-specific benefits from it that aren't obvious. Ice caves are going to find us some wood and food, which are both good. And we're going to find another location. Well, that's not encouraging. The last research. No trace of animals. I guess the animals already left. Alright. Well, we'll take our food and our wood, and we'll move on to the last known location. We're hurting again on food. Let's take a look and see if we can do anything else now that we've got some iron or steel. Oh, they want us to give them food for wood? I don't see that happening. 75 wood, so it's a net gain, right? It's the 20 food, and that's not raw food. So we could kind of start a loop of sending resources, the wood and the steel to get raw food, converting it, sending 20 of it over here to get wood. So our only actual cost would be the coal going to these guys, as well as the steel going to the other guys, both of which are infinite resources. But let's send them this first. We're still at average favor, and maybe giving them the ability to acquire resources more quickly will increase their output of what they give to us. Alright. I kind of expected to see more wood coming our way, but maybe I spent it and that was the wood that we got. High favor, time to ask for food. Please give us food, thank you. Let them depart. I realize that this is probably not necessary, but I don't want to trigger 2 events at the same time. And that won't bring us more food. Alright. I think we've got a good system going here now. We've secured a method of acquiring food and secured a method of acquiring wood outside of our own buildings. We need to, while it's still daytime, upgrade some more bunkhouses. It's gonna get colder. We did, I believe, get the research for the expanded heating. So let's look at, I kind of need to get in where I can click on them. Alright. So that's range setting 2. I want to go to range setting 1. Alright, back to 2. Let's look at this. Because of the... I want to see where I can move this guy. Let's turn it off temporarily. And that guy is at his full range 2. I feel like we could better position another brazier. And that would get all these guys in the back. It would miss that one guy in the front. I don't know if that's the... Alright, that looks like it's the full size. Let's build a new one here. We could probably permanently deactivate this other one. We'll leave it on for now while they're constructing it. But I think we can shut this one down. And this guy will cover all of it. And that's a good thing. I know we haven't built our factory yet. We also haven't done a research upgrade. Let's do this. We know we're going to need it. And with the remaining wood... And now we're out of wood. But this is a solid investment.
The workday is over.
Turn this off, we shouldn't see a change in heat. For any of the buildings, at least. Okay, all the buildings are covered, it just wasn't on heating level 2. Yeah, look at that. That's so much better. I don't know why these guys... Oh, right, these guys are not, because they're still houses, tents. I think we're pretty well off at this point. Speed up through the night. We got a lot of shipments going to and fro. This must be the overall help we've given to them. We're going to need... We need a surplus of food rations to be able to request their regular wood intake. Let's see here. It's a meteorological station by Winterhome. Ah, Winterhome's ruins. Well, that's going to be depressing. But we'll gather some basic resources. I'm concerned about going to ruins the way that Tesla City was a chance at people dying, losing the people. So I'm going to send these guys here, and when these guys get home and drop off their resources, I'll send them out. That may not be the most efficient way of doing it, but we're running out of locations to go to anyway. Oh, look, we can shut down another. Look how well the infirmary has worked for us. Let's turn that off. Save us a little bit of heat. Get people out of the working areas. Now, we're doing great with all of our... No, I didn't want to click that. We're doing great with our discontent and hope. That means we can ignore these for now. I don't see us ever doing extra rations. We're not going to need to overcrowd. I don't remember what the triage does for us. That's just going to give us more hope. Let's do it anyway, because if for some reason we need to use the children for a medical emergency or whatever, we'll be able to pass a law to give them... Well, it's a hope thing. Oh, we have to unlock prosthetics. Alright, we're going this way. Care house. We just invented a factory, but we can't build prosthetics yet. Care house fits perfectly right there. There we go. I'd really like to turn the center into some kind of heating thing like the generators, but there was a whole expansion dedicated to building one of those things. I don't think we're going to have the resources here to do so. We could make a fire pit. Some marshmallows. Once we get a few more resources, we will send more help to these guys. Actually, you know, we can do that right now. High favor, though. Let's ask for something. No, we don't need... We're getting ready to send them engineers. Let's bump some wood off of them. Get some wood coming. Let's... send those guys. Don't tell me I took out... Oh, I used up the steel I needed. Okay. We'll get a little bit of steel going. And send out... Yeah, hope can't go up anymore. I shouldn't have called this place Independence Hall. I should have called it Independence Hope. Oh, that's not good. So we turn this back on. We're not cooking food because this is too cold. I don't want to do this, but it's only 10 steel. We'll do an emergency brazier.
Good day, people. Time to
Just to get this functioning so we can cook food. No one's hungry right now. Then we will do the research for the insulated cookhouse. This place is cold. How's everybody doing? That's chilly. That's even with the improvement on the insulation. These are not good. We can spare... bring this up to chilly, so our workers don't suffer so badly. I mean, yeah, we can certainly afford to heal people. And we've got people to spare. Speaking of people to spare, let's send that. We got shipments going all over the place. We have a bunch of food coming in. We have outgoing stuff. We're a regular commerce center. And we're still maxing out on our coal. Well, we did the heater upgrade, and I was saying we were going to do the cookhouse insulation, but that kind of made it unnecessary. We can't afford to do this yet. Only 2 off. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? I just said it. The cookhouse insulation. Let's do it anyway. We'll spring back and get the other thing. Alright, our scouts have returned. We have food. And we will immediately send these guys to here so that they can go to winter home. Now, what was I clicking on when that popped up? Right, I was checking. Right, so we cannot turn down the heater. It's either on or off at this point. Which, it's only 2 coals, so I guess it's not a big deal. Well, it's a... Oh, we came across the first automaton. Oh, that would be nice. Can we... No, okay. So, this might be a steel bridge that... There's an event or location in the base game where we came across a steel bridge. I think it was in the base game. The scenarios kind of blur together. And there was an automaton keeping it clean, and you had the opportunity to take the automaton or send it back home. Man, I would really like to have that. Workers are busy cutting pieces off the bridge structure. When we try to talk to them, they rebuff us angrily and tell us to leave or else. I'm not sure what the or else would be. I don't want it being dismantled. Honestly, I was kind of hoping to get the automaton myself. But I don't really feel... First of all, we don't need to risk our guys. We don't need the 58 steel. And we don't need to antagonize New London any more than we have by liberating ourselves. I really want to stop them. I don't know what resources we have on these guys. And what's going to be the point to having the bridge later on? Let's stop them. There's got to be a reason for us to maintain this bridge. We lost our scouts and all their resources. We're going there for instead. Alright, well, that was a risk. We took it. We lost our scouts and whatever all they were carrying. I think it was mostly wood and steel. I'm sure that I'll review this video when I'm editing it and be unhappy about something else that they lost. But it's a risk we take. I don't know if that stopped them from dismantling the bridge, which is why I'm sending the other scouts. Probably when I get there, it's going to be done, and unlikely we'll be able to do anything with it. But we have some food now, we have some wood, it's daytime. Let's upgrade. I'm going to, instead of upgrading this one, I'm going to build a new one out here, I think. Because I still feel like... no. I think that the other radius thing that I'm thinking of is the watchtower. And I believe the watchtower is part of a different set of laws out of the base game order set that we do not appear to have available to us. Now, as far as research goes, yeah. We'll do this, and I think it's going to be our last Tier 3 research before moving on. We're starting to get to where we can spend some resources on ourselves, less than having to send them out constantly.
Shift's over. Remember to stow your tools.
And I'm guessing, because when we've talked to the convicts, we've not had the option to ask them for help with New London, the way we have that option when we talk to Hot Springs. I'm speculating that once we finish upgrading their little town, that's going to culminate in them automatically siding with us, as opposed to us getting more resources from them. And I think that's acceptable, because we get a fair amount of wood from them when we send them things. And to that point, let's send them things. Get some wood coming. And we can turn some of that wood into food. And that's a net gain, right? We're getting more food than we sent because we're getting raw food that we can cook, and we're spending less wood than we sent them. We also need to build our factory. Look how big that is. That won't fit there because I made that road. That's not a big deal. The factory tends to be pretty warm on its own. I don't feel like it's necessary to have it within the range of the brazier. And I think we can turn this off and turn this on. Convicts want to talk to us. Oh, lovely. So they have a disease spreading amongst their people. Some of them will die if they don't get medical attention that they can provide. You know, I've got plenty of medical capability. They would risk traveling to your settlement if you agree to cure them. Sure. No problem. In exchange for your help, we're willing to stay and work for you. I don't need them to stay and work for me. I need you guys to be happy about that and send us resources. Oh, yeah, we're not going to coordinate. 10 gravely ill. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, some of those guys will probably be amputated. But we're at 4 ill. And I'm not really sure why. Okay, they're probably still on their way to here. And this is chilly. We don't want that to be chilly. Now it's so hot that they're sweating. But we know we have the coal intake to afford it. So we may not have room for them in this building once they get here. We can make automatons! I should have done this a long time ago. Oh, 100 wood. I mean, the fact is, we don't really need the automatons, but the automatons are so good. Automatons can work in most buildings that people can work in, and they don't care about the cold. And they don't care about work hours. They'll work all the time. Now, they are less efficient than human workers, but they're working 24 hours a day. Oh, look at that. Zero discontent, full hope. We should just quit now and declare ourselves winners. Alright, let's check our heat map. Something's got really hot. What's this gonna look like? Oh, that's too much. So they stay warm, that's fine. And they stay warm. I think that's fine. I'm girding my loins. Since we don't have a generator or steam hub, that's true. Right, steam hubs. That was because I knew that they had some version of the braziers in the base game, but it wasn't called a brazier. Steam hubs were miniature versions of the giant generator in the middle. But that's true. So the automatons they required recharging by going to a steam hub or the generator itself and reheating themselves. I didn't even think about that. I'm glad I didn't make one. We can still use a factory to make prosthetics. Yeah, that's all making sense now. I guess we won't be using... Is it still an option? It's still an option. So once this law is passed on cooldown, we'll pass the law to allow for prosthetics, and then we'll make one prosthetic for this guy. I just slowed down because we're getting ready to find this location and find out that we can't do anything here. Sturdy shelter. You know, I could make another replacement group. I don't know if I want to. I think when we disband them, we get the wood back. Let's do that. Because originally I didn't send the other guys. You know, ironically, I didn't send them down here. Would you stop unselecting these guys? Thank you. I didn't send them down here because I thought they might have an event where they could get killed. And instead I sent them to their deaths. That's really... It's kind of ominous, isn't it? That area below the map. So, we can speed up until we get the law passed, or until we get done researching. The heaters are now more efficient, that's great. One quick look, I don't think there's anything else we need. We can save 5 steel on making prosthetics at the cost of 25 steel to research it. We're all going to make one prosthetic, at least for now. I don't think that's going to be necessary. The 40 wood is just too much of a cost. We're not going down this route. If we find ourselves needing more coal, then we'll work our way down this. We're not using gathering posts. This will be useful in the future. In fact, we probably should be storing our excess coal now. But we don't need to do that research right now to do that. And this would reduce the amount of engineers we have in the infirmary unnecessarily. This is going to be important real soon. For now, though, I want to knock this out. It means I need to wait on some wood so we can see what our options are for the tier 4s. Especially, I know there is an upgrade associated with the army warehouse that we want to be able to exploit. And we're speeding along because there's nothing to do. And prosthetics. That one guy is going to be so happy to have an arm. Or a leg. Whatever it is. It's also probably pretty good timing because these guys are getting ready to come here and you know that they're going to get limbs cut off. So let's start a prosthetic. Find out what the convicts want. That's interesting. So they're saying that we found the captain's hat of the ship's lost crew that's been buried. Do we... I mean, why do we care? I realize that they're trying to say that the convicts killed their masters. But we've already found that collier of the dead, which looked like it was a bunch of convicts that had just been left out to die. I don't feel like they were given a choice. So why do we care? I think that we're fine. We don't need to tell the locals, because who cares? I don't really care about anyone's opinion, really, of it. If the locals find out that and consider that we hurt, their trust by not telling them, what, we're going to lose a little bit of hope or gain a little discontent? So what? We do need to turn this on. Where are all my engineers? 30. 10, 20, 30. Okay, I guess I used up my engineers. I don't need them in there anyway, because they made the one prosthetic. Yeah, one prosthetic up here. One person who needs it. So this amputee will eventually pick it up and he'll re-enter the workforce.
Attention! Work shift is over.
And we're all good. Now we do need more food. They're back to high favor, so you know the drill. Please give us some food. High favor. Let's get something from them. Let's get more wood. Let's wait a moment. Shipments have left. Favors average. Let's help them get coal. And let's not have enough steel to do anything else. Is this still in overtime? It is still in overtime. I was getting ready to build a depot, but the explorers got somewhere. They stumbled across a door handle sticking out of the snow. To all scientists, if you use any supplies, remember to notify the quartermaster. I don't know why we consider it a sad ending. It's the same as everything else that's happened around here. There's nothing else for these guys to go to, is there? Alright, we'll send them home. We'll let the new crew speed their way up here and head to the location. I don't think I have... Alright, tier 4. Let's make sure that pauses. Infirmary checklist is just going to speed up the healing, which is something we're not really running into problems. House redesign, I think, reduces the cost of building the house. The house is going to be on our short list of things to research anyway. Here's what we're really interested in. Warehouse raising, another 15%. This is, we keep bumping into the need for steel, so let's quickly look at everything else and then come back and do this research. Don't need this. We might use this in the future as we increase our coal usage. We definitely don't need another scout team. We don't need to increase those. Reduction in coal, so we will do this one for sure soon. But for now, this is what we're after. And then if we have the, well, we don't have the resources. I was going to build a storage house for the coal, but it takes 20 steel. And we're zooming through the night. Everybody's still so happy. What a lovely morning. Lovely morning for you guys to get to work. Let's build a resource depot. It doesn't matter where they're kept. People don't have to go to them to get resources or whatever. So we'll just plop them down way out here. Except for going to them to build them. It's a one-time deal. Okay, I didn't do that. My hand wasn't even on the mouse. Maybe it was the ghost ship. Ooh.
Get up, people.
Alright.
Our work won't wait.
And send them down here. We are going to need more food. More food, more food. Don't have the steel. More steel, more steel. I know I've got a lot of wood now. I don't want to spend it on the supports over here. At least, you know, if we're going to spend it on the supports, we're going to at least wait until the current research is done, because the current research is going to increase that output. And I know we're running into max wood, something that we're not used to. So now we have that increased, which is great. Let's get our research for our houses. I know we wanted to get the improvement for the cost reduction of the heaters, the burners, but we have a lot of coal. So they're unhappy about the ex-cons. They're ex-cons. You know, I don't care if they're really rowdy and uncouth, as long as they're not actually hurting anybody. I'm not going to eject those guys. We're happy to have them, except for our need to cook for them. And I think we're going to do a second post. This one for wood, in case we kind of get in a situation where we get a bunch of wood at the same time. We want to have somewhere to keep it. And I think once we get the steel, we will send it to them. We don't have an immediate need for steel beyond trade. We have, you know, we have uses for steel, and we're going to have more uses for steel soon when we get the housing upgrades. But we don't have, I like a high demand need for steel. Well, the ruins of the city. Irreparably damaged generator. Yeah, that's definitely that's the location that we played, or at least I played. We have it on this channel. The Fall of Winterhome. Children's Mine. Well, that's disturbing. Yeah, things did not go well for Winterhome. It's kind of cool that they put it in as a place for us to visit. Let's go to the destroyed automaton if we need to bounce back. That way we can stop by the Children's Mine on the way back. I'm totally sure there aren't a bunch of children hiding in there, huddled, waiting for adults to come along and save them.
Attention! Work shift is over.
We no longer need this medical post running. I think that's about it. So we're going to want... I'm going to not disband these guys because then I have to feed them. But let's double check, make sure we didn't miss anywhere. Obviously I could send them out to this, but they'll probably bounce back to it. You know, just give these guys something to do. We'll just send them straight there. We can recall them. I'm not in a particular hurry to get anybody there. I think what we're going to do is we're running up to our actually a little past our 45 minute mark. We're going to let this get finished so we don't forget about it next time and assign it to wood. I'm going to strongly consider doing these two things because we can definitely use large volumes of steel. We're back to being out of food, and we could use it. And we can take the hit on discontent for a 24-hour shift. It's not that big of a deal. In fact, you know, we've talked us. I have talked us into it. And I'll even spare the wood. Since we now have the other upgrade. So 15.2 an hour. That's going to be helpful. Alright, so we're going to call it here and wrap up this episode. I once again greatly appreciate anyone who has hung out with me, and hope you find this game interesting. Just notice that these guys need... Just shut the building off. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and hope to see you guys on the next episode.